Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel Divya SINGHI'S Socio Lab. So finally students, your wait is over and we got our NCERT PDF for social science. Okay. So students, today we are going to start with the new chapter, that is understanding democracy. Okay, so many students were they were like commenting like they are having tests right in the school, so they told that, ma'am, please explain the chapter understanding democracy. So students, I'm going to explain this chapter understanding democracy today. Okay, so students, I hope you all are ready. Okay, so this chapter, students, I know many since the PDF came just like 4 days back, right? The NCERT PDF. But in your schools, your teachers has followed some reference books, might be, right? Like Goyal Brothers and maybe some books from other publication. So students, what I done is, in this session, I kept all the slides, including from NCERT PDFs and from other publication, so that at least, because in your school exams, whichever publication they have given, so you'll not face trouble. Okay, so I've kept from NCERT also and from other publications the material, so that you'll not face any problem for your any of the tests. Okay, so let's start the chapter understanding democracy. I'm sharing my screen with all of you now. I hope screen is visible to all of you, to all my students. Okay. So we are going to start with the chapter understanding democracy. Okay. So let's start, students. So now, students, first of all, you should know what is democracy. Okay. So as the name, chapter name is understanding democracy. So what is democracy? So student, democracy is derived from the Greek word demokratia. Okay. Okay. It is derived from the Greek word demokratia, that is equal to demos and kratos. So demos means people and kratos means power. So power of the people is democracy. Okay, so student, democracy is derived from two words, demos and kratos. Demos means people, kratos means power. So power of the people is called democracy. So it's a very simple definition. Power of the people is democracy. So students, see, democracy is a form of government in which the rulers are elected by the people. So students, we only choose our own representative, right? So democracy gives us opportunity that we can choose our own representative. Okay, and how we choose? By voting, right? So student, there is one definition given by Abraham Lincoln, and that is, democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Okay, so this is the definition, again very important. Democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Okay, so student, this is all about the definition of democracy. Okay, so I hope it's clear. There is no doubt in this. So students, see, as it's not live class, so what you can do, if you face any doubt, please write in the comment section. I will answer it. Okay, I will re-explain the topic. So I hope democracy definition is clear. So democracy means power of the people. Okay. So let's go to the next slide. Now, what makes a government democratic? How can we say that the government is democratic? Okay. So here in this slide, we are going to understand the different features of democracy. Okay. So the students, the first feature of democracy is, in democracy, the final decision is in the hand of people, because people only choose representative, right? Okay, so the representatives are elected by the people. That is the first feature of democracy. Now student, another feature of democracy is, like, see, election should take place in a free and fair manner. It is very important, student. See, free and fair means, fair, especially free, means all should be given right to vote. That is one. And fair means there should be no bribery, no corruption and all. Okay, that only will make the election democratic. Okay. Now students, universal suffrage means all people should be given right to vote regardless of their color, caste, religion. Okay, and student, one vote, one value. Students, we all, whenever we vote, okay, like your parents vote, each vote has one value. Okay, so that only makes the election democratic, or makes the government democratic. Now students, the another very important feature of democracy is we have freedom of expression. Like we can express, we can give our opinions. Okay, that's the best feature of democracy. And in democracy we have freedom to form association, unions, political parties. Suppose student, if there is a dictatorship government or monarchy, you are not allowed to form any political parties. Okay, but in democracy, we have freedom to form union, association, and political party. And in democracy, the best, one of the very important feature is we have rule of law. Rule of law means no one is above the law. From the president to farmer have to follow the same kind of rules. Okay, so these are the important features of democracy. I hope they are clear, students. Let's go to the next features. Okay. Now, I'll take you all to the next slide. Okay. Now, students, the root of democracy in India. So, students, democracy was not like it started when India got independence, nothing like that. We can see the roots of democracy in India from the ancient time, from the Vedic era. Okay, so if I speak about the concept of Sabha and Samiti, students, the Vedic assemblies, they used to discuss public matters and advise the king. So students, you can see that time also the discussions were happening. Rulers did not enjoy absolute power and were expected to consult people. So during the time of Vedic era, so student, that time also this kind of things were happening, the discussions were happening. The rulers used to ask, like they used to consult people before taking any decision. So that's the like roots of democracy. So students, we follow the principle of Vasudeva Kutumbakam. Vasudeva Kutumbakam means the world is one family. Okay, so this principle we can see from the Aryan times only. Okay, and world is one family, and we should live with the feeling of brotherhood. That is what Vasudeva Kutumbakam says, that the world is one family and we should live with the feeling of brotherhood. Okay, so this we can see the foundation of Vasudeva Kutumbakam from Aryan democracy only. And if we speak about Mahajanapadas, like students, there were some large kingdoms, okay, where the rulers were elected, they were not hereditary. Okay, so that time also, like it's not like, see, suppose father is ruling, then afterwards son will rule. Okay, in some from, if we speak about Mahajanapadas, in them it was not happening like that. Okay, so all the rulers were elected, they were not hereditary. Okay, so this is the roots, these were all the example of roots of democracy. Okay, now we go to the next slide. So students, here from the Panchayat to Gupta era also we can see the roots of democracy. Like if we speak about the Panchayat system. So student, this Panchayat word is derived from the word Panch, which means five. So it's a council of like respected elders chosen by a community, and they're all responsible to take decision. Okay, if I speak about the Gupta Empire, student, that was called the Golden Age. Why Gupta Empire was called the Golden Age? Because that time a great progress took in art, science and culture. Okay. Also, there were different kind of sabhas and samitis also came up during that time. Now, if I speak about the Vajis and the Sakya Republic, they were the one where again the rulers are elected. Okay, the rulers or we can say the Raja, they were elected by the assembly of elders. So students, you can see here these two slides which I told about the roots, they are trying to tell that democracy did begin just after independence. We can see the roots of democracy in India much before the independence. Okay, so these were the few examples which we got to know about the roots of democracy. Okay. Now students, see in our NCERT. okay, our new NCERT textbooks, we got some very important and interesting topic this year in the topic democracy. Okay, so let's start that. Okay, so students, see, if I speak about India, our India is the world largest democracy with the population of 140 crores. Okay, and students, if I speak about the 2024 elections, okay, so how many people voted? Around 96.8 crores people voted in the 2024 election, which is, so that is why India is the largest participatory democracy. Okay, India is the largest participatory democracy. I hope it's clear, children. There is no doubt. Okay, I hope you all are understanding everything. Now, so students, this is what I want to say. India has the world largest democracy with the population of 140 crores and the number of voters in 2024 elections 196.8 crores. Now, students, very important thing. Our constitution plays a very important role in safeguarding the rights of the people. Okay, so this is very important, students. Our constitution plays a very important role in safeguarding the right of the people. Okay, so students, if I speak about India, okay, so students, all the democratic principles, they are guided by the constitution. And you should know, very importantly, when was our constitution adopted? Our constitution was adopted on 26th November 1949, but it came to force on 26th of January 1950. So student, 26th January is also very significant day. We celebrate Republic Day that day. Now students, you know, our constitution was framed by Constituent Assembly, and they started this work in 1946, like much before independence, right? So it took around 2 years, 11 months and 18 days to frame our constitution, and it is one of the world's longest written constitution. Now, students, you might be wondering why I have put a picture of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar here. Okay, that is very important. You should know Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was the chairman of the drafting committee of the constitution. Okay, so who was Dr. B.R. Ambedkar? He was the chairman of the drafting committee. Okay, so student, this is a bit about our constitution and a bit about our 2024 election, like how many people voted. So these were important notes and events. Okay, I hope it's clear. There is no doubt. Let's go to the next slide. Now, students, we are going to discuss in detail about few fundamental rights which our constitution provides us. Okay, so students, see, if you have seen our constitution, okay, so students, you might have seen our constitution has so many articles, right? All the rights are mentioned in terms of articles, isn't it? So student, now we have total 6 fundamental rights mentioned in our constitution. So the first one is right to equality. So which article are part of right to equality? Article 14 to 18, they are part of right to equality. The next article is right to freedom. So article 19 to 22, they are part of right to freedom. The next fundamental right is right against exploitation. So article 23 and 24, they are part of right against exploitation. The next right is right to freedom of religion. So article 25 to 28, they are part of right to freedom of religion. Now the next right is cultural and educational right. So article 29 and 30, they are part of cultural and educational right. Now, right to constitutional remedies. So students, article 32 is a part of right to constitutional remedies. So these are the 6 very important fundamental rights which are mentioned in our constitution. So students, while learning, you should remember which article is applicable for which right. Okay. So I hope it's clear, children. There is no doubt. Let's go to the next slide. Now, students, we are going to discuss in this slide about the different types of democracy. Okay. So now, first, students, we have 4 types of democracy. The first one is direct democracy. You know what is direct democracy? In that, citizens directly participate in the decision making. Okay, so students, you see, we are population of 140 crores around, right? More than 140 crores. If we all participate in the decision making process, huh? Will it be easy? Will it be easy? No, it is very difficult. That is why we choose our representative, right? Who can take decision on our behalf, so that clash should not happen. But in direct democracy, what will happen? Citizens directly participate in decision making process. So that is, see, student, that is only possible with very small population. Okay, and if there is a large set of population, it's not possible. Okay, if all people will participate in the decision making process, definitely there will be so many clashes. So the best example of direct democracy is Switzerland. Okay, so direct democracy means when citizens directly participate in the decision making. But this process is only possible with a small population. Okay. Now the another types of democracy is representative democracy, which we follow in India, students, where people elect their representative. Okay, and we choose someone who can take decision on our behalf. Okay, so people are the supreme authority. Okay, so India is the best example of representative democracy. Okay, I hope it's clear, children. There is no doubt. Let's move to the next slide. Now, students, there was one more difference where we differentiate between parliamentary democracy and presidential democracy. You know, students, three basic you should remember about separation of powers. Okay, in India, there are three organs where the powers are separated: legislature, executive, and judiciary. So, before learning this, before coming to this concept, you should know the basic. So, what do legislature do? Legislature make laws. What does executive do? Executive execute the laws. What does judiciary do? Judiciary safeguard the laws. Okay. Now, I hope it's clear. Now, what is parliamentary democracy? Students, see, in this what happens? The executive derive its power from legislature. Okay, executive derive its power from legislature in parliamentary democracy. Okay, but in presidential democracy, what happens to the executive is totally independent. What was executive doing? The main function of executive is to implement the laws. But in parliamentary democracy, executive is accountable to legislature. Means executive derive its power from legislature. In parliamentary democracy, executive is not independent. But in presidential democracy, executive is independent. Okay, executive is independent. It does not need to derive its power from legislature. Now, if I speak about parliamentary democracy, president is the nominal head and PM is the real executive head, prime minister. Now in presidential, president is both head of state and real executive head. Okay. And accountability, just now I told. Okay. So students, here, parliamentary council of ministers are like they collectively responsible to legislature. But in presidential, executive is not responsible to legislature, which I told you. Okay. Executive is independent in presidential form of government. Now, the example of parliamentary democracy are India, United Kingdom, Germany, Japan, Canada. The presidential examples are USA, Brazil, etc. So student, I hope this is clear. So that's why I taught you basic first. Like many students get confused in this executive and legislature. Again, repeating again. Legislature make laws, executive execute the laws, and judiciary safeguard the laws. Okay, I hope it's clear, children. There is no doubt. Now, students, some important articles which you have to remember in this chapter. One article is Article 46. What it states? It states that the state should promote with special care, the education and economic interest of the weaker section of the people, and in particular the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribe, and shall protect them from social injustice and all form of exploitation. So what is this Article 46 telling, students? See, it's the responsibility of state to provide a good education and protecting the economic interest of the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribe. If any injustice is happening to the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, the state shall protect them. That is what written in our constitution as per Article 46. Now students, another article is Article 243, which provides, like, the Constitution of India provide not less than one-third reservation for women out of total number of seats to be filled by direct election in every panchayat. So students, we have reservation for women. Okay, the some seats are reserved, like one-third of the reservation are there for women in our panchayat, right? Now students, I want to tell on this, as we are talking about women. Students, there are few countries where it took so much time for the women to get right to vote. Like in USA, if I speak, it's not written here, I'll tell you. So in USA, women got the right to vote in 1920. In Britain, women got the right to vote in 1928. And I think if I speak about Switzerland, women got the right to vote in 1970s. So students, in these places, women did a lot of efforts to get the right to vote, right? But if I speak about India, when our constitution was framed, it was given equal opportunity to both the men and women in terms of voting. All the men and women got equal right to vote. Okay, that is about India. Okay, so these are important things to remember. Now, student, there is one more right which is mentioned in this chapter, is that is Right to Information Act. Okay, that was passed in 2005. It's a very important act, student, right to information. According to this act, you can get information about different government departments. Okay, it is very helpful for you, this act, so that you can get information about different government departments. Okay, so students, while making you read this, suddenly one more article is coming to my mind. Article 21A. You might be asked question on this in your exams. What is Article 21A? According to Article 21A, all the children whose age 6 to 14 will get free and compulsory education. I'm speaking about Article 21A. All the children age 6 to 14 will get free and compulsory education as per Article 21A. So these are the important articles and rights to remember, which I just now told. Okay. I hope it's clear, children. Now, student, two case studies were given, okay, in your new NCERT textbook this year. I would like to focus on these case studies. So, one is Jetipura Gram Panchayat. So, students, now, this is a case of Jetipura Gram Panchayat, which is in Gujarat. So, students, see this Panchayat, Jetipura Gram Panchayat, okay, so they were awarded with Nanaji Deshmukh Rashtriya Gaurav Gram Sabha Puraskar in 2019. Again, I'm repeating, Jetipura Gram Panchayat, they were awarded with Nanaji Deshmukh Rashtriya Gaurav Gram Sabha Puraskar in 2019 for their exemplary performance. Students, you might be thinking what they have done. So, student, they not only ensured the effective conduct of Gram Sabha and proper maintenance of records, but they also took a step further for organizing special Gram Sabha where they took initiative like a proper appropriate action on issues related to education, sanitation, welfare of women and children. So student, this Gram Sabha deeply worked on issues like education, sanitation, welfare of women and children. That is why they are awarded with Nanaji Deshmukh Rashtriya Gaurav Gram Sabha Puruskar. I hope it's clear. So that was the case of Jetipura Gram Panchayat, Gujarat. There is one another case study which is a very women friendly panchayat, that is a South Manubankal Gram Panchayat in Tripura. Okay, it's again, students, it actually improved the lives of so many women. Okay, because this panchayat uh, promote women participation in decision making, and this panchayat provide facilities to women related to health, sanitation and livelihood. And this panchayat also made sure to that women should be converted into self-help group. You know what is self-help group, students? Suppose there are a group of 5 women. Sometimes, students, if we are in need of money, We go to bank, but sometimes our loan get rejected because we don't have proper document. So according to self-help group, the women will be self-helping each other. Okay. So in terms of money or in terms of any issues, they are self-helping each other. So this South Manu Bankal Gram Panchayat, they ensure that women are converted into self-help group, and all the women should self-help each other. Okay, they should help each other. And this panchayat also work towards improving cleanliness, education, and create social awareness. Okay, so that is why this panchayat again is a very women friendly panchayat, very famous. Okay, so these were the two case studies mentioned in your new NCERT textbooks. I hope it's clear. Now, students, challenges. Everything's are not easy. Okay, so there are some challenges also there always. So some challenges to democracy we are going to discuss in this slide. So the first challenge to democracy is students' economic inequality. So students see as the gap between rich and poor is increasing, that becomes the first cause of challenge to democracy. So students see in India, we face one problem of economic inequality. Like the income is not equally divided among the people. Okay. So sometimes what happens, rich are getting richer, poor are getting poorer. So that create a gap between rich and poor. So that in economic inequality become the first challenge of democracy. Okay. And many times student, the another challenge of democracy is many times the political leaders, they spend a lot of amounts in campaigning during election, which is not good. Okay, which this is again one challenge to democracy. So that is why we still know that bribery should not take place, corruption should not take place. They are all the challenges to democracy. Now, coercion and corruption. Corruption, just now I told one example, bribery. Okay. Now, coercion means students sometime coercion, this term coercion. Okay. So it's written like COERCION. If you'll, so the correct pronunciation is coercion. Coercion. Coercion means when the voters are forced to do something which they don't want to do. Sometimes students, some political leaders, some political leaders, they will force voters to vote for them. Okay, and it that is part of coercion. When the political leaders, they force voters to vote for them, but the voters don't want to do, that becomes part of coercion. Means when you are forced to do something which you don't want to do, right? That is a part of coercion. Now students, many time what happen, many people lose interest in the political party and they don't vote. Okay, many people lose interest in the political party and they don't vote, sorry. So that becomes another challenge of democracy. So students see nowadays, one important challenge which we are facing here is I'll give you example. See students spreading fake news. The major challenge to democracy, which is mentioned in this year NCERT textbook also, the major challenge to democracy is spreading of fake news. Nowadays, so many fake news comes on social media. People will believe on those fake news, right? So many fake news will spread on social media, and people will believe on those fake news. That also is one of the major challenge of democracy. Okay, so these are the challenges which I just now discussed about democracy. So this year, students, we have been given with one case study, that is the case study of emergency. So students, you remember in India also emergency situation took place. Okay, so you can see the year 1975 to 77 was the year of emergency in India. Why the emergency took place? First of all, you should know the background. So in 1970s, so student, that time our India's Prime Minister was Indira Gandhi. Okay, in that time, during the time of emergency, the Prime Minister of India was Indira Gandhi. Okay, so student, there was in the early 1970s. Okay, there was a growing public dissatisfaction with Indira Gandhi's government. Okay, why there was a dissatisfaction with the government? Because of the rising unemployment cases, inflation. Inflation means price was rising. Okay, and there were also allegations of misgovernance. So that's why widespread protests were happening. That is why the emergency was declared in the month of June in 1975. Okay, so there was so many internal disturbance during that time. And you know what was the impact of emergency? The fundamental rights were suspended. Okay, press censorship was enforced. Okay, and many political leaders were also arrested. Okay, and citizens freedom were like heavily restricted. Okay, so that is why so many leaders, they started some movement also, like Jaya Prakash Narayan. Okay, he was a political leader. Okay, and also known as Lok Nayak. Okay, he mobilized many students and citizens. Okay, and he was very much strong in Bihar and Gujarat. And this case of emergency ended in 1977. You know how it ended? It ended with the condition that there will be general election going to take place, and people voted in this election, and the ruling government, which was that, they were all defeated. Okay, so that is the strength of democracy, students. Means people have the power to throw the government out who are not functioning properly. That is what this case study is trying to tell, that people are having the power to throw the government out, okay, by who are not, the government which is not functioning properly. Okay, so this was the case of emergency. Now some of the constitutional provisions related to this are: one is article 352, which mention about national emergency. Article 356 tells about president's rule, and article 360 tells about financial emergency. Okay, so student, this was the case of emergency. So students, our democracy is very strong. We the people who have the right to vote, we are very strong. Okay, so students, this is what about the chapter. Okay, I hope everyone understood everything. Okay, I've covered all the topics which are there in some reference book and also in your new NCERT textbook, so that you not face any problems in your school test or exam. In case you have any problem, you can please write in the comment section, or any topic you have not understood, please write in the comment section. I will re-explain. Okay, I hope it's clear, children. So thank you for watching my video. Okay, and students, I request, if you like my video, please like, and please subscribe to my channel Divya Singhis Social Lab, so that you'll get all the updates as soon as I will put any video. Okay, so thank you, students. I hope you all understood everything. Again, telling you all, please, if you face any doubt, if you have not understood any topic, please write in the comment section. Okay, till then, stay tuned, stay connected, and don't forget to subscribe my channel Divya Singhis Social Lab. Thank you, students.